Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're inside today with tequila, whiskey, and vodka's over there. And that's a box. And one of our vacuums is running in there. If you hear vacuum sounds in the background, it's because one of our little portable vacuums is running around in the kitchen. So, what are we here to talk about today? Well, I wanted to start talking about myths about livestock guardians. Okay, because there's a lot of them. I'm just going to, one at a time, start talking about them just for a couple minutes at a time. And you just knocked a pillow off and you knocked a blanket off. What's going on? Crazy bum. Anyway, so vodka's over here being nervous about a vacuum. Can chase coyotes off in the middle of the night. Scared of vacuums. It's just so vodka thing. Yeah, you're fantastic. You are a good man. Gonna hide over here from the vacuum? Okay. Anyway, so the first myth I want to talk about is that livestock guardians are too stubborn to train. I hear this a lot. I hear this from people who get a livestock guardian and they try and train it the way they've trained dogs in the past, like shepherds and stuff like that in the past, and they don't get any results, or they get very little results, or their dog's recall sucks. So, are they stubborn? Yes. Especially if you have like a Great Pyrenees or a Maremma, they can be incredibly, incredibly stubborn, almost to a ridiculous degree. So, those of us who have, especially the more stubborn livestock guardian breeds, you will hear us joke a lot, like, oh, my dog is deaf. Oh, my dog takes a message and gets back to me. And it's because, yeah, they're stubborn, but they're not too stubborn to train. So, when you have a livestock guardian and you're like, oh my God, he's just too stubborn to train, he's just not going to do it. It doesn't mean that the dog's not trainable. It just means you have to change the way you train. Because livestock guardians were, one, bred to be independent. So they're bred kind of not to listen to you. I've talked about the deliberate disobedience before. But also they were still bred to work in a team. They were bred to work with their shepherds, work with the humans. So they are bred to work with you. They're also bred to trust their own judgment more than yours. So it's not that they're not trainable. They have loving relationship with their handlers. They are absolutely wonderful companions. They're loyal to a fault. It's not that they can't be trained. It's that you have to change the way you train. Okay, so instead of coming in and trying for obedience, what you need to do is approach these guys with a fundamental and mutual trust and respect. You have to trust them, they have to trust you. You have to respect them, they have to respect you. You're not going to teach your dog to do all the fancy obedience stuff because he's not interested and he has no faith that that is at all useful to his life or her life or his life. Yeah, sleeping. Very, very busy. It's pouring rain outside right now, by the way. Sometimes you have livestock guardians and they're like, I'm not staying out in the rain. No way, mama. So they're not staying in the rain. It's okay. In the rain, most of the predators aren't coming out either. And it's the middle of the day. We're less worried about things. But anyway, back to the point. Training these dogs is different. I have talked about that in previous videos. You have to respect them before they respect you. You have to trust them before they'll trust you. There is a different way of training them. You have to make sure they understand what you want because sometimes they're not paying attention. So sometimes you have to re-explain to your dog that you want a certain thing from them because they are not naturally an obedience breed. They are naturally I'm going to protect my flock or I'm going to go for a tour around the neighborhood. Which is why some people ask, why do you have this second black collar on? If you haven't seen my previous videos, we have the second black collar because it's a tracking collar. Because, yeah, they go for roaming. They go for a little tour around the neighborhood, and it's nice to be able to find out where the heck they went. But, back to the point. So, are they too stubborn to train? No. They're stubborn. I will grant you that. They are incredibly stubborn, and they can be difficult to train if you're not willing to change the way you communicate with your dog. Because these are not everyday dogs. So Whiskey, who is not a livestock guardian, he's a golden doodle, which means he's half golden retriever, he's a quarter lab, and he's a quarter poodle technically. So he's a mixed breed, and all of his breeds and his background are really more obedience breeds. He's really easy to train. Traditional training works wonders on Whiskey. Getting him to sit took 3 minutes. Getting him to recall took about 5 minutes. He is bred to do what you tell him to do. All of his breeds are exactly going to listen to you. That's just what they do. They listen. That's what they do. However, these guys are not. The vacuum's having a tantrum. If you hear beeping, it's the vacuum having a tantrum. I'm going to go yell at it. Or push it out of wherever it is. Yeah, it's stuck. I'll get it. Doesn't matter. The point is, Great Pyrenees are not too stubborn to train. They are highly trainable. They are intelligent. They are loving. They want to do something with their day. They don't want to do nothing. So as long as you are able to train them patiently and change your mindset and not try to train them the way you would try and train a golden retriever, you will have some success. Okay? They are highly trainable. They're just really stubborn, and they're a different kind of dog requiring a different approach than you might be familiar with. So highly, highly trainable, but still really stubborn. That's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.